Wow, what a great turn for 6-5 if you had it. Like, yes, it turned the nuts. A brilliant observation, Sean. Thank you.
I'm telling you, these turbo autists, man.
It's the high-level poker analysis coming from Mr. Winter. Oh, we got a mystery hand.
None other than Justin Bonomo as well. Let's go.
No, they moved him.
Right, he's the pre-flop raiser, the raise first in from the hijack, so. Oh my goodness, and he's up against a really good hand and
Would it be
a
possible
decent
to get an
hand.
old iPhone charger from somebody? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Bottom set. Again in position. Again bottom set.
This could very much go 3 ways to a turn.
Yeah.
We're up to 92 runners, by the way. It's closing in on the 3-figure club. Love to see it.
Wow, and he chooses third pot, so.
Half pot. 11 into 21.
Oh,
5.
sorry, yeah, that's that, yeah. They had already added it. I think it's close for Dylan, but I think this makes the cut for continuing. Yeah, I like this continuing.
Especially with backdoor nut flush.
Yeah.
I think without it, then we pitch it.
Yes.
Let's see what Justin comes with. It's a mystery hand for a reason. We love these. Open from the hijack to 5.5k. Picked up 2 customers. Joe's 7s on the button. Dylan in the small, and he's come with the check raise, Brian, to 38k. This doesn't feel like an overpair, my friend.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, 7s is a clear continue here. The question is whether you call or raise. The call, I mean, you're in position, so you don't need to raise. The flip side is that when you call, you do let Dylan in with potentially with hands that have equity. But clearly, you know, if he knew that Zoe only had ace-9 of hearts, he would let him in. But flush draws, you're not as excited to let overcall behind. 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜 calls, and here we go to the turn with about a 2 SPR. Oh.
Brutal. Brutal turn card, of course, for Dylan, as he would have turned the jack high straight with a nut flush redraw.
Would have loved to have the camera on his face as the flop card came out, just to see if anything crossed. Any little, like, grimace, some mouth flicker.
That Bonomo check raise flop. See if he continues on this 10 of hearts turn.
You could easily have nut spades.
$45,000.
Unfazed, even with the 4-liner on there.
Now say overpairs seem pretty unlikely, because if he ever took that line on the flop, it's like, are you really betting kings here?
Wow, snap call from Joe, no nonsense. He knows what he's looking for. It's a board pair, 198k out there.
He could easily still have the best hand. Wow, and ace-9 of hearts just made the stone nuts.
Showers, Dylan. It's tilting because regardless of what Bonomo has, this hand could have played out in so many different ways where Bonomo just c-bets, Joe calls button, and then Dylan just gets to see a turn.
Yeah.
But it's because of the flop check raise. Less than pot back. Where do the bluffs come from, man? I mean,
I'm going to guess if he bluffs, he has nut spade. If he bets, I'm going with he has nut spades. Well, let me see what he chooses. But if he goes all in, I'm going to go with nut spades, and it's a bluff. So I'm answering your question and calling.
oh, so you think it's a bluff? Okay.
I don't know yet. Let's see what he does. But I feel like he's going all in.
All in.
Okay, so I owe you 100, right? Do you want to double that?
Well, what do you have?
Well, you're saying ace nine of spades. You're saying
No, I said
oh,
nut
sorry,
spades.
nut spades. So you're saying bluff. I say value.
Well, I'm not going 50-50 on that. He's supposed to have a value more often than a bluff, and I don't feel that strongly about it. You have to lay me a price.
I can't because the nine's been folded, bro. So it reduces the amount of pocket nines combos and 9.
He doesn't need nines. He could easily
and
have
9-10.
jacks for a value bet. This is only a 100 big blind pot.
What price do you want? Look at you trying to hustle me on stream.
I'm not hustling anything. You're trying to hustle me. Just from a poker theory perspective, going 50-50 on bluff versus value bet here would mean Justin is wildly unbalanced. And I'm not going to bet on that.
So what do
The
you
other
think it
time
should
I did actually think I did bet you. Well, no, I bet that he had value, right? Or what was our last bet? I can't remember.
What
Well, let's forget about that. We'll talk about it later. I just think if Justin has value, he could have jacks, and he could have a 9. Maybe 8s. 8s is like getting to the cutoff, I think. I can't. He can't really have 10s because he's not check raising 10s on the flop. And bluffs can be stuff like king, queen, spade, heart, nut spades.
something to be said about timing tell, perhaps, as well? The fact that Joe can't literally snap called turn.
Potentially even a hand like king 8 of spades. I could maybe see playing this way.
Does that count as a value, Joe?
No. Clearly a bluff.
Let us know in the chat. Bluff or value?
I'll take 2 to 1 if you want to lay it. That's about the right price given that he's shoving for a pot.
I can't when Joe's got 2 7s and Dylan folded ace 9.
Justin can't have 7s though.
Why not?
No. At this point, bottom set on the flop, no. I think 8s is like the cutoff, and I'm not sure. And he can have jacks and a straight. That's why 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐻 hasn't just like snapped here because he's not beating value.
So you're saying the value is
Beating
jacks, a straight,
and no, maybe 8s
and
and
an
jacks
eight.
and a straight. Yes, no. So folding the 9 was relevant, sure. But I'm just saying the 7s aren't that relevant for it.
I want to do some back of napkin math in terms of bluff combos versus value combos. Joe lets it go. Oh, Bonomo.
Nah,
You sick pup.
we can't. Just leave it on a 14
It was a
minute
bluff.
thing for 14 minutes.
Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
I'm going to steal that, my friend. That's some sage wisdom coming from your end of the booth. Couple of trays for Nelson. I'm going to try and set mine out of position. And Jeff with the Cowboys. It's been a bit slow over here on this table. Different kind of vibe, perhaps. Fatigue settling in. It's been, you know, grindy couple of days. 𝐶𝐿𝐶𝐭 with the mystery hand. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, big blind overcall. Okay.
𝐶𝐿𝐶𝐭 with the mystery hand is, well, you tell me.
I won that $100 off you off his last mystery hand, the 3 queens. You had bluff, and I was like, value.
Well done, Brian. I'm still up 1,000 on you, pal. So you keep mentioning that.
Mentioned it less than you've mentioned that 1,000. It's the first time you already shot out. Oh, I think I hit a nerve, baby
busted
doll.
your balls, mate.
All right.
Hey, listen, I gave you the chip last night, and you very smartly said, well, no. We've got dinner bill to pay. Just write it off.
Giving me a chip is giving me work. I was very happy to find a way to incorporate in something else. Anyway, 𝐶𝐿𝐶𝐭's coming with check raise.
Here we go.
And
just what the doctor ordered.
I mean, these guys are 100 bigs deep. So king's probably not going to raise it back. Going to imagine in position he's going to just call.
Ace of clubs on the turn. All the obvious flop draws bricking, other than ace-x of hearts.
Or even potentially an ace-x with just the ace of hearts, right? Like ace-8 offsuit with the ace of hearts.
He's reaching, ladies and gents. This man feels like he has one gear and one gear only. Comes with half pot. It was a relatively quick bet as well. I mean, he does play fast. This one feels more bluffy.
I'm going to wait till I see his river size to say. I'm not sure at this stage.
Sizable pot brewing, over 200,000 out there. Ace run out, so now the flop 2 pairs would be losing to Danchev's kings. Hands like Queen 7, 7, 5.
That ace-x of hearts and ace-x off with the ace of hearts hands, all still very live.
Would he still do something crazy with like a Queen 7? Feels like it has enough showdown. He's reaching for chips, ladies and gentlemen. This man is an absolute beast.
That's the exact pot, so he's good at counting as well.
200.
Check raise flop. Half pot turn. There we go. Danchev with a quick fold. No nonsense. And 𝐶𝐿𝐶𝐭. Es muy loco, Brian. As you like to say. With the 5-4.
Yeah, wow.
But what a move from Brandon Stephen to attack in a spot that was clearly inflated.
The thing is, in super deep stack poker, Randy, you know, day one here, hundreds of blinds, effective. We do have the latitude, and we will, with higher frequency, see some of these larger bets. What we aren't going to see, however, here, is Punat Punsri's holding. It's GG Poker mystery hand time. We're going to black out Punat's holding, which has chosen to flat the Chidwick 14K open.
I love mystery hand time.
Well, you know,
It's fun.
King 9 of diamonds for Corneth. He's deliberating, and he's going to hop in. Diamonds are not his best friend. Now Pardo can flick another 8K out there with Queen 6 of clubs to see what's what.
He's going to do so. 4 ways.
King Jack 5, top pair for Corneth, the best of what's around that we can see. Chance checks in a 4-way field. Pardo promptly does the same. Chidwick the pre-flop aggressor.
With no diamond out there, Chidwick is unlikely to see bet this flop. Multi-way.
Yeah, it would seem very ambitious. And so he does knuckle. Now Punsri.
So he flatted the pre-flop opener. Checks around. And Corneth is loving that turn card.
Kings and 9s just to solve any potential kicker issues that he may have been facing.
And Corneth is going to check it. Trappy.
Chidwick taking his time before checking along with Corneth and Pardo. And now 62,000 out there that looks like it's unclaimed. Unclear what Punsri's got, but obviously what we know he has is an opportunity, potentially, before him.
I'll say this, Punsri probably doesn't think his opponents have a king too often given the flop and turn check through.
$44K the bet out of Punat. Pardo and Chidwick are going to be in the bin regardless of how Corneth approaches things. I would imagine. I mean, Pardo does have a gut shot, but I don't think he's going to be hunting a 10 for 44 dimes.
So if Corneth is behind, it's likely Queen 10 or pocket 9s because King Jack or a set of 5s would have bet the flop, I'd imagine, when check 2.
Yeah, even pocket kings, pocket jacks would find reasons in a 4-way pot to fire at this board. Corneth does flat. Hearts arrive. Not his favorite river.
No, not his favorite, but maybe it's a bit better than seeing like a queen or 10 show up, which brings out straights. Punsri could have some flush draws that got there, though. What's interesting, though, is that Corneth is opting to lead 38K into 150,000.
Now he wants to set the price, I guess, into this 150, like you said, versus potentially face a bigger barrel from Punsri's value range.
I don't think he's worried about, like, non-flush hands in terms of value betting.
No, you're right. It's the flush in particular, because he has kings and 9s, and that's just going to be good against a majority of the value outside of the hearts. But what I meant to say is Punsri could dial up something really chunky on the end, and then we got to really ask ourselves, as the polarity would be hearts or no hearts. But as played, Randy, you were looking at this. Puntry flatted on the button pre. He checked back in a four-way pot on the flop, then barreled 44 on the turn. Do we think he has hearts all that often?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly convinced. He did raise.
Look at this. Oh, my goodness. 276,000 out of Puntry, and we immediately sense discomfort with King 9.
So he's repping a flush. I don't think he's raising this sizing with like a set of nines or, you know, somehow magically has like King Jack or King 9 himself. And he laid it down in Puntry.
What did he have?
Tens.
Just 2 tens. My goodness. Punat turning it into a bluff, recognizing the value of a couple of tens in terms of representing Queen 10 specifically, which would very much be a credible hand.
Ask otherwise.